Well, good morning, everybody. So it by the time you guys see this, it will be the 17th of July, 2024. And needless to say, by now, uh, unless you were either under a rock or stuck in an airplane um, for a very long time, you would know that there was an attempted assassination attempt on former president and presidential candidate Trump. Uh, During the weekend. Actually, I was on a treadmill and I posted a short of what I was watching, and the gym had television sets set up, and I was kind of watching it when everything happened. So it begs the question, well, now what? And I think this is an important question we all ask, not just about the society, but about ourselves. So I'll be right back, and let's just have a candid, calm conversation about where things could go and what you should probably need to think about. So I'll be right back. Well, friends, so my Monday video is actually called Everyone is Fair Game Now. This was recorded the day before the attempted assassination attempt on Trump. So if you haven't seen that, take a peek at that one. But that one involved an attempted assassination of a CEO in Germany. I believe it was Rheinmetall. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. It's Rhine, like the Rhine River, metal, but in German, Rheinmetall or something like that. And they are a prolific ammunition manufacturer in Germany that is supplying a boatload of stuff to Ukraine because the Germans publicly are saying, "Oh, we need to stop the war," and privately they're like, "Screw the Russians. Here you go." And the Russians know this. The Russians are not stupid, and they're like, "Oh, you know what? We're going to shoot your CEO." Um, and it didn't work out. And I've been talking about this. A lot of channels have, not just me. I'm not clairvoyant or anything. Dealing with what did I call it? DoorDash terrorism, where a country hires a middleman to hire a terrorist to encourage a jihadi or some other extremist to go and do something, and you have like 3 or 4 levels of deniability. Um, whatever happened on Saturday regarding Trump, that's going to change things a lot because the original video was like, wow, they went after a CEO, they went after some other thing, but here you have this young guy, whatever his name was, I can't remember. They found this social media, and he apparently he registered as a Republican at 16, but all his videos that are online are he literally said verbatim, I hate Republicans, I hate conservatives, I hate Trump, and you have the wrong guy or something like that. Um, and then this was like either the day before or the day of the incident. And then he climbed up on a building and took shots at the former president. And then he wound up being deleted from this universe. Uh, that's concerning. There was another TikToker who literally went online and was screaming, "How the hell could you miss? How the hell could you miss?" And now people are blowing up her account. I think her account's been taken down because she got a lot of hate for that from everybody. But we have seen the indoctrination of a large group of 20-year-olds, young ones. And this is not a pro or against Trump or Biden. I know how I'm going to vote. Just what happened reinforced that. But even if you're voting for Joe Biden because you think, Trump's kind of an ass, and that's fine. But openly, people don't normally, in a normal civilized society, go and say, let's go delete this guy. Let's go unalive that guy, as they say on TikTok, because they can't say things like death. Let's go, cause a morbidity to somebody. They don't say these things because that's not what we do in a civilized society. And then when you heard that 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20 going, oh, we should do this or do that. Everyone looked at that person like, no, no, I don't like that candidate, but that's not what we're doing. We seem to have normalized it to a lot of youth. And a lot of these youth, most live at home or just moving out on their own. And really, none of them have served in any capacity in society: military, law enforcement, responder, firefighter. Most of them don't even have jobs. They're like gamers or stuff like that. And the reality is, these kids are just consuming media. Do I think this kid who shot at Trump acted alone? Probably. Do I think he may have been manipulated or provoked by something greater via TikTok, via Instagram, via some other medium, or someone in his circle encouraged to do something? Absolutely. Um, one does not just arbitrarily decide, I'm going to post a manifesto. At 22, this wasn't a 40-year-old guy who went through life and lost his farm and lost his wife, and now he's bitter with the system. This kid hasn't experienced jack shit. Let's just say what it is. And for him to go out there and take shots at a former president 200 yards away, and then get smoked by the counter snipers, um, that took a lot of provoking. It's almost as if, my feeling, this is purely hypothesis, this is not confirmed in any media or anything like this, it's just me speaking my mind. Someone identified this kid as unstable and said, you know what? Let's work on this kid. So they have these accounts that work on that kid until they provoke that individual to accomplish something. Now, unlike the old MK Ultra where they actually induce drugs on people, this would be more a gaslighting manipulation where you would literally, and so regardless, the where I was going with this whole video is, well, now what? Because this opens the door. This one knucklehead did what he did. He's no longer with us. He got deleted. And now what? Well, there are a lot of people on the other side who are furious right now. They've taken abuse. They've been beaten up. They've been threatened online. They've had jobs taken because they wouldn't take a medicine that every other medicine had been tested for 10 years. This had been tested for 10 months, and people injected. Now they're getting sick. They wouldn't take that, or they took it, got sick, and then they protested it because now they knew better. And they were antagonized. People who, basically, the rule is, you're not smart enough to decide for yourself who to vote for. So if you don't vote for us, you're a racist, you're this, you're that. They've turned what used to be the party of the working people into a party of communism and socialist anarchy. And I may not be popular for saying it, but that's what I'm seeing. And being that my family killed communists and socialists in various wars from Vietnam all the way back to World War II, which actually they were more fascist, but still variations of the socialist thing, um, and Korea. I could probably tell you my family has no sentiment for that. But unfortunately, this may embolden copycats, maybe not against Trump, but against other targets. Okay, this kid failed and he paid a very high dividend, right? He paid the ultimate dividend because he's not here anymore. Um, someone else got arrested. I don't know what the story is with that clown. And if I hear more, I'll try and update video when I can. But what do we need to expect? Well, unfortunately, the right has neo Nazis and a bunch of other shitheads on way off on the right, and then you have way off on the left. This kid was way off on the left. But what that has done is embolden this. And what I fear we're going to see over time is these fringes starting to make their way into the mainstream, not taking over media, but going into the streets and conducting things and conducting operations. So, what do we need to do as preppers? Well, one, we need to be calm, right? If you freak out, if you panic, then you exist in a state of fear and not in a state of alertness. And there's a fine line. You can, fear and panic are the same base emotion, but with fear, you're still functional and you use that energy to execute a flight or fight response or some other response to deal with the situation. Panic locks you up. Panic, the fear overtakes your rationality to where you can't function. And again, I know there's some psychologists and therapists in my audience who may say that's not quite the definition. It probably isn't the clinical definition, but either way, you guys kind of get what I'm saying. Be vigilant where you go. I would highly recommend until election day, maybe after, avoid the big rallies. If you're going to go to the rally, be aware to what's around you. Also, if you go to a rally like that, know where the security guys are, where's Secret Service, where are the cops, where's the exits. Um, I would recommend no flip flops in an event like that. I wouldn't wear them anyway. Wear sneakers, hiking boots. The little short, the short hikers. Something you can move in if you have to run, if you have to drag a friend or carry a friend who's been injured, even if it's just an accident. A damn teleprompter falls down and hurts 30 people. You want to be able to maneuver. Keep yourself as fit as you can. Everyone's situation is different. Obviously, if you're disabled, you're in a wheelchair, you can't go running, right? But you can still learn to maneuver your wheelchair uh, accordingly. If you've been in a wheelchair, you probably over time you know how to maneuver. Maybe have what you need, a first aid kit and stuff in the frame of the chair. So if somebody's hurt, if you get hurt, you can reach back and get what you need. Um, if you can't walk, you need a cane. Make sure you have a sturdy cane or a sturdy walker that you can use not only to move, but if you need to get to the ground, you can use it as a frame to get low. Um, but we're going to see, sadly, we may see more of this. Now, it could go the other extreme. People just can say, okay, this is enough. Let's stop this shit. This is just ridiculous. There was actually a reporter on CNN who called out all the other people on CNN in one big panel saying, this rhetoric, when we say he will be the end of our democracy, he'll be the end of our country, he'll be the end, we have a hand in this. He actually said it openly. We have created that dialogue. And so all of us on both sides need to stop. And I applaud that guy for saying it. It may have cost him his job, but I respect the journalist for being a journalist and saying, hey, this went way off into the fringes and this is not good. Wherever you go, bring some basic EDC, flashlight, pocket knife. If you can do a first aid kit, and ladies have a purse, or if you have a backpack, or guys have a pack. Now they have the man satchel, which really is like a guy purse, like the Indiana Jones bag. I see a lot of guys with their laptops in there, which is convenient. Have a first aid kit. It floors me how many times I've gone through an airport and the TSA guys will go through my bag because my bag always bings them because I have a tourniquet in there, and they're like, "Oh, you got a first aid kit in here in Ziploc bags. That's pretty cool." And they're like asking me questions, and I say, don't a lot of people?" He said, "Maybe 1 out of 10 travelers will have what you have." He said, "Maybe." He said, "More like 1 out of 20." The other guy said, "Be ready for those things. Keep food, keep water, keep your basics, right? If something gets into the streets, rioting, fighting, you don't want to be out there because what you're going to have side A, you're going to have side B, and then you're going to have the government trying to keep side A and side B from killing each other and everyone else. And you don't want to be in there. You don't want to be the poor schmuck that drove to the store in the middle of a firefight. Nobody wants that. Does that mean you stay at home under your bed? No, you don't. Go about your day, but do your homework. You get up in the morning, look at the local news, collect intel. What's the weather like? Is there an accident anywhere? You should be doing this anyway, just as a day to day thing. Is there fighting? Is there protest today? Oh, there's a protest this afternoon downtown. I have to be in my downtown office. You know what? I'm either going to leave early or I'm going to work from home. Or I'm going to bring what I need to stay late and have snacks and maybe a sleeping bag in my truck. So if I go out and there's a big shit show in the street, I'm going to go to my parking lot. The parking garage. I'm going to get my sleeping bag and I'm going to camp out in the office until everything calms down. Planning out your day will give you options. Again, prepping to me is all about having options. So if anything, make sure that you are ready for when certain things could pop off. Nobody saw that. That was a big security failure what happened to Trump. The fact that the man is still alive is a bit of a miracle. And I'm hoping that this becomes a movement to put everybody on both sides in the better direction because the whole group has been going down the toilet and the violent behavior from leftists is just mind blowing right now. Mind blowing. And now it's to the point where people are going to react. So I expect you will see some counter behavior. Uh, I expect you will see violence in the street as we get closer to the election. And as I said, they've honestly, I believe they've indoctrinated a large portion of Gen Z, a significant portion of it, enough to cause revolutionary situation in their minds. You may have to give first aid to someone. You may have to defend yourself from someone. Be ready to do that. Um, if you're not, know someone who is. You may not want to be violent, but you may be willing to give first aid. Well, do that. Any skill you can learn will help you. But right now, my fear is this has opened the floodgates. And now all the fringes are going to be okay. Is this what we're doing now? Fine. Let's proceed. And I can only speak from my own experience for myself. If war is chosen on my block, I would like to think I remember enough of my training, and I still train, that if push comes to shove, it is what it is. I hope that is my last option. I hope there are other courses of action, but understand this young man clearly stated that he hated a group and then went and tried to murder the candidate of that group. He can't be the only one. And so, all of you pay attention. Watch when you go to the stores, you go to the gatherings, wherever, church, wherever, that person who stands out, that person who's oddball, go talk to them if they're in your church. Hi, what's your name? How can I help you? 9 out of 10 times they want to be unnoticed until they act. And if you confront them, that might discourage that. But even in the mall, you can't go talk to everyone in the mall. Look at that person acting weird. Why has this guy got a long coat on? It's 104 degrees Fahrenheit outside. That's not right. And pay attention. Let someone know where you are. Let someone know when you'll be back. If you're at your work, if you're at a friend's house, have enough stuff in your trunk or in your SUV that if you have to camp out for the night and go home in the break of dawn, you have what you need to do so. You guys be safe out there, and I hope I'm wrong, but I feel this may encourage people to say, "Oh, okay, the gloves are off. Let's go." And if that is the case, make sure you're ready. We can't stop all of it, but you can do your part by being ready. Don't be on the street. Don't be a target. Know the exits. Have your basics in order. Folks, I'll leave you with those thoughts. God bless. Be safe out there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I should premiere this, and I normally jump into my premieres. My backup engineer, she's finally here, and I know that's a motivated person. I've worked with her before, so now I'm giving. We're splitting up the duties, and now neither of us is going crazy, and uh, and this is a good thing. And the whole team's excited. The other divisions are excited. We're all excited. So you might get to see a little more of me on the live streams now. In any case, guys, be safe out there. Be careful. Plan your days. Be calm. Little cash. Keep the basics. You know the drill. We've got this. Society as a whole, maybe not, but we're going to have this. You guys be good. Take care.